When people think of Sicily, they imagine a few familiar things: ancient ruins, busy towns, coastlines crowded in summer. It feels known, almost predictable. But once you move away from the obvious stops, Sicily behaves differently. Because scattered across the island are places that feel hidden, unfinished, or strangely quiet, despite being completely accessible. And most visitors never see them, where the coast stops feeling natural. Driving along the southern coast, the land suddenly turns white. Not sand, not limestone hills. Sheer cliffs, smooth and bright, rising straight out of the sea. This is Scala dei Turchi. Here's what makes it unsettling. The surface looks sculpted, almost artificial. But it isn't. Wind and water carved this over time, slowly and unevenly. Walking here feels like standing on something unfinished. The cliff doesn't invite you. It tolerates you. The texture shifts constantly. Smooth sections give way to weathered ridges. Shadows pool in shallow indentations. When sunlight hits directly, the white surface becomes almost blinding. Your eyes adjust, but the brightness never fully normalizes. Most people photograph it from the beach below. Fewer climb it. Those who do notice something else. The rock feels different underfoot, softer than expected, slightly chalky. Time hasn't hardened it. Time is eroding it. When the land drops without warning. Inland, the roads narrow and twist. Then suddenly, the ground disappears. This is Cava Grande del Casibile. From above, it looks calm. From inside, it feels enclosed. Here's the surprise. You don't ease into this place. You descend into it. Water pools far below. Walls rise steeply. Sound doesn't travel the way you expect. This isn't a viewpoint. It's a contained space. The descent takes longer than it appears. Switchbacks cut through vegetation. Trees provide shade, then disappear. As you move lower, the temperature shifts. Cooler air settles at the bottom. Moisture clings to rock surfaces. The pools themselves sit in clusters, connected by shallow streams. Some reflect sky clearly. Others remain shadowed most of the day. People swim here, but quietly. Voices seem intrusive in this space. The canyon absorbs sound unevenly. Looking up from the bottom changes perspective entirely. The walls frame a narrow strip of sky. The world above feels distant, separate. And then the silence changes character. A nature reserve that feels abandoned. On the southeastern coast, beaches stretch quietly. No loud development, no constant movement. Inside Vendicari Nature Reserve, ruins sit near the shoreline. Old buildings, broken stone, no explanation signs nearby. Here's what feels strange. Nature reclaimed everything, and no one tried to stop it. Flamingos walk past abandoned structures. The past isn't curated, it's ignored. The old tunera, the tuna processing plant, sits partially collapsed. Walls remain standing. Roofs have fallen inward. Vegetation grows through doorways. Salt stains mark the stone. Birds nest in spaces once used for work. The structure serves them now, not people. Walking through the reserve means encountering these remnants unexpectedly. They're not highlighted. They're simply present. A watchtower stands near one beach. Its purpose obvious. Its condition precarious. No barriers prevent you from approaching. No signs warn about structural stability. The reserve trusts visitors to use judgment. Flamingos gather in shallow lagoons between beaches. They're not captive. They're not performing. They simply feed and rest, occasionally lifting into flight without ceremony. If you're interested in places that don't announce themselves, places most visitors pass without noticing, subscribe. This channel explores destinations beyond the obvious routes, where history is scattered, not displayed. Further inland, valleys stretch wide and empty. Cliffs line both sides. Caves dot the rock faces. This is necropolis of Pantalica. Thousands of tombs are carved into the cliffs. Here's the shock. There's no dramatic entrance, no central structure. The site doesn't guide you, it surrounds you. You don't look at history here, you walk through it. The tombs vary in size and placement. Some cluster together, others sit isolated. Dark openings mark the cliff faces. rectangular cuts in stone. Most are empty now, contents removed long ago, but the sheer number creates impact. 5,000 tombs across this valley, all hand-carved, all serving the same purpose. Paths wind through the area, not maintained regularly, sometimes overgrown. You choose your own route through this landscape. No prescribed order, no logical sequence. Some tombs sit at eye level, others require scrambling to reach. The valley floor runs alongside a river. Water flows steadily. Trees provide shade in sections. Standing in certain spots, you can see dozens of tomb openings simultaneously. The scale becomes clear. This wasn't a small community. This was a civilization, and they carved their dead into stone. Permanently, deliberately, where the river cuts through stone. In eastern Sicily, the landscape tightens. The river narrows. Walls rise sharply. Basalt replaces soil. This is Alcantara Gorge. Here's what surprises most people. This canyon was shaped by lava, not erosion alone. Cold river water flows between volcanic rock. The walls feel geometric. Movement becomes cautious. The land here doesn't feel ancient. It feels recently exposed. The basalt formations show columnar patterns. Hexagonal shapes stack vertically, created when lava cooled rapidly. Water temperature stays constant year-round. Cold enough to shock, cold enough to limit how long you can wade. The gorge depth varies. Some sections allow walking through water. Others require swimming. A few become impassable during high flow. Light enters unevenly. Direct sunlight hits the water at specific times. Most of the gorge remains shaded. The walls aren't smooth. Rough volcanic texture provides grip, but also scrapes skin easily. Sound behaves strangely here. Water noise amplifies. Voices echo unpredictably. The river flows consistently, not rushing, not still. Just moving through a channel it didn't create through gradual erosion, but rather found after volcanic activity reshaped the land. When the coast feels too calm. On the northwestern coast, cliffs frame the sea. Boats move slowly. Towns sit back from the edge. Near Castellamare del Golfo, the water is clear and quiet. Here's what feels unusual. This coastline isn't built to impress. No massive resorts. No loud attractions. It feels paused, like development stopped halfway and never resumed. Small fishing boats anchor in the bay, not tourist vessels, working boats. The harbor sees daily activity, but not crowds. Locals walk the waterfront in evening. Visitors blend in. No one performs for cameras. Nearby coves remain accessible but quiet. Beaches exist without services. No chair rentals. No umbrellas in organized rows. You bring what you need. You take what you brought. The water clarity reveals the rocky bottom. Fish move visibly. Seaweed sways with current. Cliffs behind the town rise gradually, not dramatic, just present. Buildings climb the slope in layers. Old construction mixed with newer additions. Nothing appears carefully planned. The town doesn't optimize for tourism. It accommodates it. Restaurants serve locals first. Visitors second. Menus aren't translated unnecessarily. Prices reflect local economics, not tourist expectations. This creates an odd feeling, being welcome without being catered to. Why these places stay secret? Most of these places are easy to reach. They're not restricted. They're not remote. They're just not emphasized. Sicily doesn't organize its most interesting places neatly. It doesn't guide visitors carefully. If you don't look for contrast, you miss it. The island's tourism infrastructure focuses on specific sites. Valley of the Temples, Mount Etna, Taormina. These anchor the experience. They create expectations. But between these nodes exist gaps, spaces less defined, less packaged. These gaps contain the places that resist easy categorization. They're not undiscovered. Locals know them. Some visitors find them. But they don't generate buzz. They don't trend on platforms. Why? Because they don't photograph dramatically in single images. Because they require time to understand. Because they don't provide instant gratification. Sicily isn't just ruins and busy coastlines. It's white cliffs that look unnatural, canyons you descend into, ruins left inside nature, history scattered across open valleys. Sicily contains these spaces generously. It doesn't hide them, it just doesn't advertise them. The island trusts that some visitors will look beyond the prescribed experience, will tolerate uncertainty, will value quiet over spectacle. These places aren't better than the famous sites. They're different. They ask different things from visitors. They provide different rewards. If this video changed how you think about Sicily, subscribe. Because some of the most interesting places to visit are the ones the island never advertises, the ones that remain even when no one's watching.